In the world of high-stakes television, we are conditioned to expect battles won with swords or magic. Yet some of the most intense conflicts ever filmed take place under the fluorescent lights of a neighborhood pharmacy. One Spring Night uses these mundane settings to examine the friction between individual desire and the rigid social architecture of modern life. In a culture governed by strict communal expectations, the simple choice to pursue personal happiness becomes an act of open rebellion. Traditional societal views often frame marriage as a strategic transaction. It is the merging of family histories and financial standings into a single unit. This structure places the burden of family elevation onto women, transforming personal relationships into tools for maintaining a familial hierarchy. Deviation from this path carries a high cost. A single parent faces a specific social penalty that often leads to isolation, viewed as a liability in the traditional dating market. Social survival in this environment depends on conformity. Stepping outside these boundaries risks total alienation from the community and one's own family. Lee Young-in lives within these boundaries as a librarian in a long-term relationship with a man from a wealthy family. It is the exact match her parents demand, but the connection is stagnant, offering stability at the price of her autonomy. Yoo Ji-ho exists on the periphery. He is a pharmacist and a devoted father, but his status as a single parent has made him a social pariah, conditioned to expect a life of solitary responsibility. Their first meeting lacks the typical fireworks of the genre. It centers on a forgotten wallet and a shared conversation over a hangover tour. It is a moment of two adults recognizing an undeniable, uncalculated pull toward one another. This connection is dangerous because it ignores social logic. By choosing one another, they are prioritizing raw authenticity over the roles society has assigned to them. The antagonists in this story are neighbors, parents, and co-workers, the ordinary people who act as guardians of communal norms. Jung-in faces a convoluted and painful path as she attempts to break her socially approved engagement. Her choice is viewed by her family not as a personal right, but as a betrayal of their collective standing. Ji-ho fights his own internal battle, struggling with the shame society has forced upon him. He must face the disapproval of his peers while questioning if his presence is a threat to Jung-in's reputation. The narrative tension stems from the constant pressure to conform, as the weight of the community attempts to pull them back into their assigned lanes. They do not fight back with grand dramatic gestures. Instead, they use the quiet, steady application of personal boundaries. Defiance is found in the deliberate choice to hold hands in public, or the refusal to hide Ji-ho's child. These small acts of visibility become powerful statements against the unwritten rules of their world. In a culture built on compliance, the simple refusal to apologize for one's existence or one's feelings serves as the ultimate act of rebellion. The resolution is grounded in reality. Jung-in and Ji-ho do not change the entire social fabric of South Korea, and their parents do not undergo an immediate change of heart. Their victory lies in their ability to protect their personal space. They build a life where their shared truth carries more weight than the judgment of the people around them. Real triumph in this story is about surviving the machine of social expectation with your authenticity intact. One Spring Night portrays love as a quiet endurance, a shared willingness to face the friction of social judgment together every single day. It suggests that the most courageous thing an ordinary person can do is choose their own happiness in the face of a world that expects them to settle. Have you ever had to push back against social or family expectations to follow your own path? Share your story in the comments and subscribe if you enjoy these deep dives into stories that reflect our real lives.